America, land of opportunity, freedom, and one of the most hotly debated immigration systems in the world. As of 2025, millions cross borders, some legally, others not. But what really is the current state of U.S. immigration? Why is the debate surrounding illegal immigrants fiercer than ever? Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the truth. Facts, stats, policies, and the real-life impact on America and its people. Stick around. You're going to want to hear this. Let's start with the numbers. The numbers you need to know. Out of the nearly 47.8 million immigrants living in the United States, an estimated 12 million are undocumented, roughly 25% of the immigrant population. That's 1 in 4. And the vast majority of them, they're not just hiding in the shadows. They're working. Approximately 89.4% of undocumented immigrants are of working age. They work jobs that are essential, but often invisible. Agriculture, 15.1%. Construction, 14.1%. And hospitality and food services, 7.6%. States like New Hampshire have smaller immigrant populations, but even there, 15% of immigrants lack legal status, making up about 1% of the entire state's population. But numbers are just the beginning. The real story, it's about what these numbers mean and what they're doing to the nation. Help or harm? The economic debate. Let's talk about money, because when it comes to undocumented immigrants, the economic debate is intense. Critics argue that undocumented workers take jobs from U.S. citizens, especially in low-skilled labor markets. They claim wages are driven down because employers can pay undocumented workers less, and that this creates unfair competition. Labor unions worry that this undermines collective bargaining, while some Americans feel squeezed out of jobs they once relied on. But supporters fire back. They say undocumented immigrants are doing jobs most Americans simply won't take, like picking crops in scorching fields, washing dishes for 12-hour shifts, or working dangerous construction jobs. These workers help keep prices low, fill crucial labor gaps, and contribute to the economy by paying sales, property, and even income taxes in many cases. Economists, they're split. Some studies show small negative wage effects on low-skilled U.S. workers, while others reveal little to no impact, and even economic growth in regions with higher immigrant populations. What we do know is that undocumented immigrants represent about 4.4% of the U.S. labor force, making them an undeniable part of the system. So, help or harm? Maybe it's not a simple answer, but it's a question America must keep asking. Work visas and the legal path. So, why don't people just do it the legal way? Sounds simple, right? But here's the truth. It's anything but. The U.S. immigration system is a tangled web of red tape, lotteries, quotas, and years, sometimes decades, of waiting. Let's start with the H-1B visa. It's meant for highly skilled professionals in fields like tech or medicine. But here's the catch. There's a cap. Only 85,000 visas are issued each year, and hundreds of thousands apply. It's a lottery, literally. So even if you qualify, it all comes down to chance. Then there's the H-2B visa, meant for temporary non-agricultural workers, like landscapers or hospitality workers. But employers must prove they'll suffer irreparable harm without these workers. And even then, the slots fill up fast. And for the average migrant fleeing cartel violence, corrupt governments, or crushing poverty, none of this applies. No degree, no job offer, no lawyer, no time. So when people say just do it legally, they're missing the real story. For most, there is no legal door to walk through, only walls. And for families seeking survival, those walls are not a deterrent. They're just another obstacle to climb. The DACA story. Let's talk about DACA, Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. Introduced in 2012 under the Obama administration, DACA was designed to protect undocumented immigrants who were brought to the U.S. as children. Kids who grew up American in every way except on paper. Fast forward to 2025, and there are around 538,000 active DACA recipients, often called dreamers. These young people can legally work, attend school, and build lives, contributing to the economy, culture, and community, without the constant fear of deportation. They're nurses, teachers, engineers, even business owners. But here's the twist. Their status isn't permanent. Due to ongoing legal challenges, new DACA applications are currently frozen. Only existing recipients can apply for renewals. That means an entire generation of eligible young immigrants are left out. waiting, hoping, and stuck in legal limbo. And here's the heartbreaking part. DACA offers no pathway to citizenship. Dreamers pay taxes, follow laws, and pledge allegiance to a country that hasn't fully welcomed them. The fight continues in courtrooms and Congress. For now, the dreamers remain, dreaming, contributing, and holding on to hope that one day legislation will finally recognize them as the Americans they've always been. A hard line: Trump's 2024 immigration crackdown. In 2025, immigration isn't just a policy issue. It's the defining feature of President Trump's second term. And this time, he's not holding back. With executive orders and fast-track legislation, Trump has unleashed one of the toughest crackdowns on undocumented immigration in modern U.S. history. In just February 2025, illegal border crossings plunged by 94%, and interior immigration arrests skyrocketed over 600%. The message? No tolerance, no loopholes, no mercy. Federal agents now conduct widespread workplace raids and community sweeps. Detention centers are overflowing. Deportation proceedings are faster and more aggressive, with thousands removed each week. Penalties are severe: mandatory jail sentences for repeat offenders, immediate deportation for illegal entrants, lifetime re-entry bans for visa overstays or forged documents. Even minor violations, like overstaying a tourist visa by a few days, can trigger deportation. Visa fraud is no longer a civil issue. It's a federal crime. Students, workers, and even asylum seekers are under stricter surveillance. Supporters call it necessary national security. Critics call it inhumane and chaotic. Either way, it's clear. Trump's America has drawn a hard line. Cross it, and you face the consequences. American kids, undocumented parents, the invisible struggle. There's another layer to this story, one that's often overlooked. More than 5 million US-born children have at least one undocumented parent. That's millions of American citizens living in constant fear that one day their mom or dad won't come home from work. Imagine being 9 years old and memorizing your parents' phone number in case they get detained. Or packing a what-if backpack with snacks, clothes, and documents, just in case you're left behind. Teachers report rising anxiety, depression, and academic struggles among these kids. And for families where a parent is deported, household income drops an average of 50% overnight. These are not numbers. These are children growing up American, while fearing their families could be torn apart at any moment. And here's the paradox: the children are legal. The parents are not. So the question is, how does a country raise its future while keeping their families in limbo? Border security and international pressure. But the battle doesn't stop at the border. President Trump's administration is now targeting those who enable illegal immigration, including smugglers, traffickers, and even foreign government officials. In March 2025, Secretary of State Marco Rubio announced new visa restrictions on officials in other countries who fail to stop illegal migration. It's not just about domestic enforcement anymore. It's international pressure. Meanwhile, the U.S. continues working with Mexico and Central American nations to intercept illegal migrants before they reach the U.S. border. And for those thinking of making the journey, the government offers this warning: it's dangerous. Criminals and traffickers prey on migrants. Many are assaulted. Some never make it. E-Verify, the controversial employer tool. How do you prevent illegal employment in the first place? E-Verify, a government program that allows businesses to confirm if someone is legally allowed to work in the U.S. It's required in 21 states, including Texas, Florida, Arizona, and more. But critics argue it's flawed, burdensome for small businesses. Not always accurate could lead to discrimination. New Hampshire, for instance, doesn't require E-Verify at all. The debate continues. Should every employer be forced to use it? The current state of U.S. immigration and illegal immigrants. A 2025 snapshot. The United States is home to over 46 million immigrants, with an estimated 10.5 to 11 million living without legal documentation. Immigration remains one of the most debated issues in America. Caught between humanitarian concern, political division, and legal complexity. Under the Biden administration, immigration policy has seen both tightening and loosening. Programs like DACA still protect young undocumented immigrants brought to the U.S. as children, while new humanitarian parole pathways offer temporary legal entry for nationals from countries like Venezuela and Haiti. However, the rollback of Title 42, a COVID-era border restriction, led to a surge in border crossings, sparking concern over asylum processing and detention conditions. At the southern U.S.-Mexico border, illegal crossings reached historic highs in 2024, pushing Border Patrol facilities to capacity. Some Republican-led states, like Texas, have taken immigration enforcement into their own hands, even clashing with federal agencies by installing razor wire or deploying the National Guard. Meanwhile, Congress remains gridlocked on any major immigration reform. Efforts to create pathways to citizenship for undocumented immigrants have stalled, leaving millions in legal limbo, including mixed-status families where parents are undocumented, but their children are U.S. citizens. Despite political tensions, immigrants, both legal and undocumented, play a vital role in the U.S. economy. They fill labor shortages in farming, construction, healthcare, and food service industries. Yet, many live in fear of deportation while contributing to communities that depend on their work. Public opinion is deeply split. Some Americans demand tighter border control and harsher enforcement, while others call for compassion, amnesty, and a modern immigration system that reflects the nation's values. In 2025, the state of immigration in the U.S. is a complex mix of policy uncertainty, humanitarian challenges, legal battles, and political blame games, all unfolding in real time as the country heads toward another heated election cycle, new arrivals, and the future of immigration. So, where is this all headed? After years of decline, the number of unauthorized immigrants in the U.S. rose again, from 10.5 million in 2021 to 11 million in 2022. That growth continues. Why? Record border encounters in 2022 and 2023, massive backlogs in asylum processing, humanitarian parole programs like CHNV and Uniting for Ukraine, which brought in over 500,000 migrants. Still, immigration isn't just about entry, it's about what happens after. Some undocumented immigrants leave voluntarily, others gain legal status, and tragically, some die during the journey. And remember, Mexico remains the top country of origin for undocumented immigrants, though immigration is rising sharply from South America, Asia, Africa, and the Caribbean. Conclusion: the face of immigration in America is changing, fast. Is it broken? Many say yes, but it's more complicated than slogans or soundbites.
You have undocumented workers helping the economy, and others straining it. You have dreamers trying to build futures, and smugglers exploiting the system. You have families seeking refuge, and criminals sneaking through the cracks. What's clear is this: immigration isn't just a policy issue, it's personal. It touches lives, shapes communities, and defines the future of this nation. So, the next time you hear the words illegal immigrant, look beyond the headlines. Ask the deeper questions and stay informed. This is the story of immigration in America, messy, emotional, and unresolved. What happens next depends on all of us. The debate over U.S. immigration isn't going away anytime soon, and the decisions made today will shape America's future for generations. If you found this video helpful or eye-opening, don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe for more deep dives into current events and ring the bell so you never miss an update. Got thoughts on immigration? Drop a comment below. We'd love to hear your take. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.